is, guys. It's your boy Tyrone Couple, aka BlastphamousHD, and today we pose a question that is as old as time itself. Could you turn down $1 million to protect your he-gidity? More than 11.
I don't really want to do another album.
What?
I want to do something else.
I'm not touching that at all.
Everything now that we see playing out was all the things I escaped. The car, the shine, the loan, Puff Daddy, the Craig Mack.
Mose.
When I'm in the club, G, I know the thug be wanting to slug me. Here, so we can't give you no receipts. See that?
Puffy back there staring directly into it. Come on, bruh.
I know the thug be wanting to slug me. Here, so we can't give you no receipts. He dead. Craig Mack can't give you receipts. He dead. What are you talking about? Who else? Black Rob can't give you receipts. He dead. And everybody else you made sign paperwork so they can't talk about.
One album. How much money do you think I owe this guy? One album, and then he became a fake pastor and went and conned people.
Because that is how you get somebody as aggressive as Diddy off of your back. Changing your whole religion. It's the only thing that works. That's one of the things that works.
And then y'all gonna let him throw dirt on the God's name?
Yes.
I went through every step on how to deal with him. Every step on how to deal with Puff biblically. I dealt with him biblically because
Mase is finally giving us the full story on how he escaped Diddy's rumored gay rituals, and he's setting the record straight on the real reason why he left the music industry back in the day to become a pastor. For those of you who have followed Mase's career, you probably remember how he went from being one of the biggest stars in the late 90s, right up under Diddy's wing, to suddenly turning his back on the industry and disappearing from the spotlight. Now, we all know the story about Mase and Diddy beefing over money, but that's not the whole picture.
If Mase would have been down with the baby oils, he'd be as big as Drake right now. And I'm not touching that at all. I don't want to know nothing about Drake. I love Tootsie Slide.
The real reason why Mase left not just Bad Boy, but the entire industry is way darker than we ever imagined.
Oh, no, it's not.
So rumor has it that Diddy tried to pull Mase into these disturbing rituals where he would allegedly subject straight men to some humiliating acts. Suge Knight recently spoke about this in an exclusive interview from prison, and he claimed that Diddy even did something called the boiled egg test, where he'd use an actual boiled egg on another man, placing it, well, you can imagine where. And according to Suge, this was to check if the man was ready to start taking part in freak-offs with Diddy.
They used to have these guys, they used to call it the boiled egg test. They could take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg, have those guys pull their pants down and bend over and they stick it up their ass.
But Suge also pointed out that it wasn't just Diddy doing these sick things behind the scenes. Apparently, it's a whole cabal of powerful people in the industry who do these strange initiation practices on aspiring artists. And this isn't about their sexuality at all. It's deeper than that. Word on the street is that these so-called rituals were more about breaking someone's spirit and humiliating them.
Well, then she saw Christopher Williams perform a show on Puff. Now, from what she said to me, it was disturbing because, you know, they didn't stop. And I just don't know. He was like, it's power, see. I can make a man, he said, if I can make a man suck my dick, I can make people do anything.
So now we're hearing that Mase might have been exposed to all that, and that Diddy even allegedly tried to force Mase to engage in certain humiliating acts with his higher-ups.
I opened up myself to the possibility of a person rather than a gender. I have never stopped being attracted to women. So we're now dealing with a subject of bisexuality.
But here's where it gets even more twisted. Mase didn't play along. He rejected whatever Diddy was trying to involve him in, and that's when things took a dangerous turn. Word on the street is that Diddy didn't take too kindly to being rejected. And we're not just talking about a professional fallout. According to some insiders, Diddy actually plotted to have Mase silenced permanently for rejecting him in these rituals. Now, we've heard bits and pieces about this over the years, but Mase himself is now setting the record straight on the nightmare he survived during his time at Bad Boy. So let's get into Mase's recent statements, his beef with Diddy, and these so-called gay rituals.
Okay. Well, P. Diddy's supposed to be releasing a gospel album. What came to your mind when you heard that? What thoughts did you have?
Y'all want me to answer that?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, can RuPaul put out a gospel album?
So to give you some context first, Mase first linked up with Diddy in the mid-90s, and after Diddy saw him perform, he wasted no time signing him to Bad Boy Records. Mase dropped 3 albums under the label, and after Biggie's tragic death in '97, he reportedly became Diddy's go-to ghostwriter, writing hits for him and other Bad Boy artists. But by the time his second album came out in '99, Mase was over the industry, and that same year, he shocked everyone by announcing his retirement, saying he was leaving rap to follow a calling from God.
And the real reason why I decided to start rapping, I just wanted to better my life. I wanted to do something better for my life.
Follow God.
Not all the time money is the best thing for your life. Like, I look at a lot of people that's rich, and I've seen a lot of women that's rich, and I'm yet to really see a happy, rich person, like deep down in their heart, really happy.
Yeah.
After leaving the music industry, Mase became an ordained minister, but he didn't stay away from the spotlight for long. He made 2 comebacks. First in 2004 with the album Welcome Back, and again in 2009 with Double Up. But Mase still felt he had some unfinished business with Diddy, and the same year he dropped Double Up, Mase had that infamous moment when he confronted Diddy live on air during a radio show, handing him papers and demanding to be officially released from his Bad Boy contract.
We get it.
Now, even though Diddy signed the papers, it wasn't what Mase thought. It only freed him up to feature on others' tracks, but he was still locked into his Bad Boy contract. Then in 2012, Mase finally announced he was officially free from Bad Boy, but the drama didn't stop there. He kept speaking out against Diddy over his publishing rights. Things really blew up in 2020 when Mase took to Instagram, claiming Diddy refused to sell him his publishing, even after he offered $2 million, way more than the original $20K advance he got back in the day. Mase wrote, "I offered you $2 million in cash just a few days ago to sell me back my publishing, as his biggest artist alive that always show you respect for you giving me an opportunity at 19 years old. Your response was, if I can match what the European guy offer him, that would be the only way I can get it back. Or else I can wait until I'm 50 years old and it will revert back to me from when I was 19 years old. You bought it for about $20K and I offered you $2 million in cash. This is not black excellence at all." Of course, Diddy being Diddy, he denied all of Mase's claims and went into full gaslighting mode, flipping the narrative and trying to make himself look like the victim, while also painting Mase as a money-hungry con artist trying to cash in. Diddy played it off as if Mase was the one who wasn't being loyal and claimed he was out for more than he deserved.
My name is Diddy, Sean Combs. I never took nothing from nobody a day in my life. Or 1 album. How much money do you think I owe this guy? 1 album, and then he became a fake pastor and went and conned people.
But fast forward to September 2023, just weeks before Cassie dropped her bombshell lawsuit, and Diddy suddenly had a change of heart and announced he was giving back publishing to Mase and several other Bad Boy artists. That same month, Diddy also went on The Breakfast Club again and claimed he and Mase had made up and it was all brotherly love between them.
Did giving back the publishing fix any damaged relationships that you might have had with those
I wasn't. There's so many misconceptions that people think they know what's going on. I didn't have no problems with people. Mase,
I think Mase.
Yeah. Major with me and Mase, we brothers, and Mase, I got unconditional love for Mase. So me and Mase, I don't know if me and Mase stop arguing now or something like that, but I'ma still love Mase. Yeah. I give him thanks for like really helping to really launch my career as an artist, and was there with me from the beginning and stuff like that. But when you're like in a group with somebody, you know what I'm saying, you're tied together for life, you'll have your brotherly ups and downs. But I always love Mase, always give thanks to Mase, and me and Mase, we also got, spoke and was just like, had a real conversation, because I think even though if I didn't agree with Mase, he was a catalyst for me to look from within, you know what I'm saying?
Of course, in hindsight, we know why Diddy was doing all this. He knew Cassie was about to drop her lawsuit and all hell was gonna break loose. So this was his last-ditch attempt to try and keep control of the narrative. Obviously, that didn't work. And also, the audacity of Diddy calling Mase his brother is absolutely insane. Not just because Mase never had any interest in reconciling and being friends with Diddy, but also because there are some disturbing rumors floating around that Diddy actually wanted to be more than friends with Mase. As in, he allegedly wanted Mase to take part in freak-offs with him and other men. So this whole drama over Mase's publishing rights and his role in Bad Boy is just the tip of the iceberg. The real reason Mase literally ran away from the music industry apparently has more to do with those long-standing rumors about Diddy forcing his artists into his twisted freak-offs. And allegedly, Diddy especially enjoyed forcing straight men into doing gay acts as a way to humiliate them and gain control over them. As you probably heard by now, Diddy supposedly secretly recorded all these encounters, and he'd later use it as leverage to blackmail artists and keep them under his thumb. Now, word on the street is that what went down at these freak-offs was so disturbing that it made multiple Bad Boy artists run for their lives and turn to religion. And one of the first people to really blow the whistle on all this was none other than 50 Cent. Some years back, 50 went on a spree posting a series of photos of former Bad Boy artists and calling out how so many either found God or met untimely ends after what he called dancing with the devil. 50 first shared this photo of G-Dep and referenced his infamous murder confession in the caption, saying, G-Dep, after dancing with the devil, got high, walked into a police station, and confessed to shooting a man 16 years earlier, now serving 15 to life. Where'd they do that at? It was like 50 was hinting that something much darker was at play with Diddy and his artists. 50 then posted a photo of Diddy with Biggie Smalls with the caption, Big Dead after dancing with the devil. Next up, 50 brought up how Craig Mack got caught up in a sketchy cult after leaving Bad Boy, before his sudden death in 2018. By the way, it was initially thought that Craig died of heart failure. However, his family recently revealed he had actually passed from AIDS complications. What really sparked conversation, though, was when it came out that Craig Mack once admitted he considered taking out Diddy because he wasn't getting the money Diddy owed him.
That's it. I don't think you know what you mean when you're saying that, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what type of dude I am. You know what kind of muscle I got. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you need to be in the studio. So I said, all right, meet me up there at 7 o'clock. And I went and got one of my gunmen. My man, I'm not going to mention his name either. He came with me up there. Okay? And they saw him.
Think about it. If you had to pay cheeks as a straight dude, and someone offer you, oh, I'm gonna give you $10 million. And then all you got was to be Craig Mack instead. Seems like a pretty good crash out moment to me.
And they fell back, because they was gonna do something to me. But they didn't. So we talked about it, came to definite, look, no cash, no record. I'm not gonna be sitting here going in the studio all night, every night, busting my ass. And I ain't seeing nothing from it. And you're making me feel like even if you did have the rest of that cash, us taking it to the next level is gonna be a problem because there's gonna be money problems. I can see it already. So I caught a couple of threats, a couple of, passers-by in the street and everything else. I caught a couple of threats. And I was sitting there going to pick up my sister from work. And I'm in her car, I'm driving her car to go pick up from work. And I just was sitting in the chair and I was like, God, I'm so tired of everything that's going on. I was in my sister, I called my sister because we've known each other for so long, you know what I'm saying? It's like brother and sister, But I was in my sister's car and I had a gun in my lap. And I'm sitting there, I'm talking to God, I'm like, Lord, I don't want to do this. But if it comes to getting ugly where somebody's gonna be trying to kill me, I'm gonna have to do something first or do something to prevent that from happening. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I'm frustrated. I really need your advice and your love right now. And I started flipping around the radio station, 660 AM or FM, one of them stations where the Supreme team used to be on. Early in the morning, and the dudes from Upper Hempstead would have that joints blasting. So I was looking for that. And when I turned the station, all this gospel music came on. Yeah. And it was this song I've never heard before in my life ever, but I knew that it was God talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Because of the way it made me feel emotionally. I broke down, started crying all over the place in the car. And I'm sorry. I was thinking about trying to do this to somebody because it was really in my heart to kill him. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna do it. But I knew in my conscience also that that's not the right thing you're supposed to be doing.
And then Craig's ex-wife, Roxanne, recently told Rolling Stone in an exclusive interview that Craig was scared of Diddy and felt like he could do something to him. He was scared. Puff was pissed Mac was leaving Bad Boy and the fact that he was going to go with Suge, Roxanne said. From what I understand, Puff was enraged. Puffy became a vindictive bastard and really stuck it to him for doing that. I do feel like Puff's the trigger. He effed my family up. Puff kicked it off. He was the catalyst. Now, going back to 50 Cent, he shared a photo of Craig Mack with the cult leader he followed and captioned it, "Craig Mack after dancing with the devil. Puff cheated them all out of their money. Now they're praying for something good to happen. No more Puffy juice." After that, 50 posted more photos of former Bad Boy artists like Shine, Loon, and Mase, pointing out that they all turned to religion after breaking away from Diddy. As for Mase, he's dropped multiple hints over the years that Diddy might have made some kind of dark deal with the devil. Mase even suggested that the only way he could truly stand up to Diddy was by fully dedicating his life to God.
You know, if the devil can use him aggressively, then I want you to know God could use me aggressively. Stirring up so much confusion is because for years, these guys have organized a mass organized effort to slander my name. I reached out to his bishop. His bishop declined to mediate the situation. So why should we keep these same gatekeepers who have done nothing but exploited us and used our talents against us?
So what exactly did Mase experience during his time at Bad Boy that pushed him from being a rapper to a pastor? It had to be more than just Diddy's greed and shady business moves. Well, this is where things take a seriously dark turn. So on a recent episode of his It Is What It Is podcast with Cameron, Mase spilled some serious tea about why he quit music in 1999, right at the height of his career, to get away from Diddy. And he revealed that he went to extreme lengths to escape Diddy's control. Mase even hinted that all the allegations now surfacing about Diddy, like the claims he blew up Kid Cudi's car and rumors about his involvement in the deaths of multiple Bad Boy artists, are exactly why he had to run for his life.
Everything now that we see playing out was all the things I escaped. The car, the Shine, the Loon, Puff Daddy, the Craig Mack,
Biggie Smalls.
the Biggie Smalls. So even though I made those decisions and it cost me money, that's why I got with Killer and they gave me the money back. I didn't lose no money. Destiny.
That boy good.
That boy good.
And now on top of all this, Suge Knight has joined the chat, and he recently made some explosive claims about these rumored rituals Diddy subjected his artists to, including something he called the boiled egg test. Suge Knight recently talked with Chris Cuomo from prison, and he alleged that these industry rituals didn't start. And apparently this has been going on in the entertainment industry for decades. Suge even dropped names of some powerful industry figures, claiming they were the ones who showed Diddy the ropes.
Puffy didn't react or see where he got or doing those things or those allegations by himself. He was taught from people before him, and he did it to the younger people after him. And we can talk all day and say what's true, what's not true. Only truth part about it is videos, conversations, and people can see what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
But for it being happy and proud and say what do people think, that's irrelevant.
So sure.
That's just like I heard earlier today when Ray J was talking to TMZ.
Mm-hmm.
I got love for Harvey, but I see Charles always got something negative to say when it comes to West Coast people. And Charles tried to make a reference to say that, how do I feel when I'm in prison? Yeah, I'm in prison. I guarantee you I'm free more than Charles. If I feel like sleeping to 5 o'clock, I want to sleep 12 hours a day, I can.
Sure.
But besides all that, the fact is, it's not no competition who's going to talk the loudest or talk the best. It's not something positive that can help anybody. I don't get on no platforms that should be something positive. It ain't. So, first of all, you got to start with at the top. You're starting with the top. Clyde Davis, Russell Simmons, Andre Arell, Jimmy Iovine. Even if you take Jimmy Iovine, he had an allegation from him, same thing, he went away. You take Jimmy Iovine. They told me at Universal and Interscope, they said, you know what? We can't deal with artists that gets in trouble. Your artist gets in trouble, they talk crazy. Let's think about what they see. Now, I was told that I can't do business there because of that. Now, Doug Morris gave Puffy a deal for millions of dollars. It flopped. So when you look at all these things and everybody want to say Puffy, 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 don't get me wrong. Yeah, Puffy stepped in this shit, and even if he wiped the shit off his shoe, it still stinks. But he's not the only one. They got all the tapes.
Now, when you talk about the tapes,
but this been going on for a long time.
Hold on.
Now, when it comes to those freak-offs, Suge talked about how Diddy used to do the boiled egg test on male artists as a way of checking if they were ready for the freak-offs.
You know what they show. They used to have a thing in the industry, right? And the sad thing about it, I don't like mentioning Usher. I don't like mentioning Justin Bieber. I don't like mentioning all these people that everybody know what time it is. So at the same time, they used to have a joke. They never played this joke with me. And they used to walk in the Interscope office. They'd go back there and they'd be like, hey, we passed the test. I said, we haven't did the test. One dude said, well, don't say that in front of Mr. Knight because he's going to take it offensive and hurt somebody. I said, well, whatever it is, I probably will take it offensive when somebody will get their ass whooped. You know, that was me in those days. They used to have these guys, they used to call it the boiled egg test. They could take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg, and have those guys put their pants down and bend over and they stick it up their ass. The eggs break, they say they're not ready yet. They ain't put enough work in. This is Hollywood. So everybody want to go act like they don't know what's going on.
Hold on a second,
but
Suge.
if you just look. All you gotta do is
I have never heard of anything like that. So if I haven't heard about it, just assume a lot of people haven't heard that before. But you think it's on video?
Let's stop for a second.
Go ahead, Suge.
Yeah, listen, and also, have you ever been to any Puffy parties?
No.
You sure they had a long time to think about it, but if you haven't been in those butt-naked parties, even some of the preachers been in those parties, and they wasn't on their knees praying for God. See, they was praying for somebody to have come real quick or something, but I wasn't there, but it's proof of it. But at the same time, everybody want to look around and act like something going on that wasn't right. It's the facts of life in the industry, not for the people who don't get in. So, everybody, you got to look at it like this. You see a beautiful woman, or you see a handsome man, and it was like that all their life. From elementary school to junior high school to high school, if they forced to go to college, right? They always knew they had something special about themselves. If you take some of the Hollywood executives or some artists, they might have been the ugly duckling for a long time before they had the teeth sticks and lipsticks and nose sticks, all the work done. Underneath, they still the young people with no confidence because they've been that way all their fucking life. So all of a sudden, if you look at Puffy old pictures, don't look nothing like his new pictures. You know, shit, they didn't do everything.
But Suge, just because he has plastic surgery.
Suge then tried to shift the spotlight to those higher up than Diddy, claiming that Diddy is just one of many industry men involved in this.
Most important thing is it's got to be a solution, because this has been going on in the industry for a whole bunch of years, for decades. And at the same time, you know, nobody wants this to be true. And it shouldn't have to be true. But if we don't fix it and do something about it, history will constantly
repeat itself. Now, Suge, you said something early on that I want to get clarification for the audience. Suge, you said early on, you can't just look at Diddy in isolation. You said this was done to him. He learned from others, and it was done to him, and then he did to others. To me, that sounds like what I hear when people are talking about of situations, you know, hurt people, that someone was used, they wind up being a perpetrator. Is that what you're suggesting about Sean Combs, that he was used and he now said?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I think he repeat what was done to him. And like I said, if you look at Russell Simmons, you know the truth. Andre Rail, you know the truth. R.I. Davis, you know the truth. Jimmy Iovine, you know the truth. So there's not certain things that all of a sudden you got this. The industry is a quick business. It's been like that for a long time. And the casting couch is real, but it's for women and men. But far from all that, I think the most important thing is I feel like they should let Puffy tell his truth. I'm quite sure he's going to expose a lot of people. I'm sure he's going to move forward with it. I don't think it should be a situation like the Epstein thing where they found him hanging from the ceiling and dead before the truth come out.
Do you believe?
And now on top of that, rumors surrounding Diddy's freak-offs are getting even darker, with more speculation that these were some type of occult rituals. An old video recently resurfaced from Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, talking about full moon rituals that Diddy allegedly held with his bad boy crew. Gene said these rituals went down every year on the birthdays of Kim Porter and Biggie Smalls, and claimed they involved men having relations with each other, and even some type of idol worship. And supposedly, it was this type of behavior that pushed Mase to turn to God and never look back.
Kim Porter's birthday was on the same day. And people was thinking that because of Puff gave his birthday party on her birthday. But it was bigger than that, and people don't understand that. And I think that he had almost told off on himself when he spoke about the winter solstice. And that's when the pagans and people who believe in the cult was looking for that moon on 12/12 at 12 a.m. And they were doing spiritual rituals at that time. That's when that was going to be the last day of the full moon. And that means that the seasons and all that stuff has changed. But when you get into that spiritual realm stuff, it was when people went and they paid homages to certain sacrifices and homages to certain idols. And on the third day, they would drink, party, be merry, and the men would have sex with each other.
No.
If you don't believe it, look it up for yourself.
What does that have to do with the story?
It was the last day of the full moon. And because it landed on 12/12 at 12, that's when ritual sacrifices and prayers and everything was given to certain idols. And on the third day, they drank, they be merry and be happy, and the men would give gifts to each other and have sex with each other.
You're not telling us nothing new.
So
Why do you
it
look
was
so
bigger than
surprised
that.
when he's not saying anything good?
And he gave his day on my man's birthday. 3 days after the full moon, 3 days after the last moon, on 12/12, 12 a.m.
But if you thought that was disturbing, wait till you hear about this blind item that claims Diddy may have been involved in actual animal sacrifice.
With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to comment, like, and or subscribe. This is BlastphamousHD. Twizzles.